Hello again. Charles Taze Russell, and especially Nelson Barbour, Three Worlds, or Plan of Redemption, published in 1877. He's concluding his chapter on resurrection here with an extended discussion of Daniel chapter 12 and all of the dates that are set out there, 1260, 1290, 1335, etc. He says, with present light we have learned that a round number of years from 538 was not accurate enough to determine the exact ending of those days, 538 being the days they interpret that the papacy was set up, the beginning of the 1260. God requires something more earnest and deeper digging to get the exact truth. We have but one absolute date from which to determine the other two. The end of the 1260 period is fixed to February 15th, 1798, beyond all question. February 15th, 538, would be just 1260 years, the period the abomination of desolation was to hold times and laws. But it is not true that it was set up as early in 538 as February the 15th. It was not until March 538 that the Gothic power was broken, and the exact date of the setting up of the abomination, or the woman taking her seat on the beast, was when the provinces of Italy embraced the Catholic cause. That is, when the civil power of the Roman states gave in their allegiance to the church party, which, from the best authority we can find, was about 1 year after. The exact date is not given. And it is from where the abomination was set up the 1,335 days are to measure. If you begin the 1,335 years 1 year later, of course, they terminate a year later. But the condition of the prophecy must be adhered to. That power was to maintain its seat 1,260 years, and yet we know it ended February 15th, 1798, and that it was not set up in February 538. Still, facts and prophecy must agree, or the application of the prophecy be given up. This dilemma staggered me at first. To give up the application of this prophecy would be to give up the plainest fulfilled prophecy in all the scriptures. In doing that, we might as well give up all prophecy, and like the mass of the churches, settle down at our ease, and take our chances about the day of the Lord's coming on us as a thief. But the reward, if we hold fast to his works to the end, is so great, and the loss, if we draw back, so infinite, that I, for one, dare not cease my investigations. We should comment upon this clearest of all fulfilled prophecy. Where's the messianic prophecy in all of this? It's all about the future. The prophecy's clearly being fulfilled in Barbour's day. No, the use of prophecy in the early church was about fulfilled prophecy in Jesus Christ, the Messiah. So we have to repudiate even this entire system, not just the year-day system, but the fulfillment of prophecy in the future is always risky, unless we have far more firm principles than Barbour and Russell give us here to anchor our system of interpretation. So Barbour goes on. On further searching, I found just one Bible precedent for calling a period of time a definite number of years when it was nearly a year short. Thus, Zedekiah reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. That's Jeremiah 52:1. Zedekiah did not reign in Jerusalem but 10 years, 3 months, and 9 days. See verses 5 to 11 in Jeremiah 52. And yet the statement that he reigned 11 years is 3 times repeated here, and in 2 Chronicles and in 2 Kings. And the fact that he did not reign but 10 years and a small fraction of a year is also 3 times repeated. Then the application of the 1,260 years, although they were not that many full years, is not weakened. And from the best evidence we can get, the provinces of Italy did not change their allegiance from the Arian to the Catholic Church for a full year after the spring of 538. And this 1260-year period, ending as it did February 15th, 1798, was only 1,259 years and something of another year rather. A day or an hour will do, but it must have been more than 1259, or it could not be called 1260. Doubtless there are those who, glorying in their own indifference to these Bible truths and satisfied to walk carelessly themselves, will call this close figuring special pleading, and try to dispose of the whole subject in that loose offhand way. But when Paul figures close, the promise was not unto thy seeds, as of many, but unto thy seed, they do not call it special pleading. Measuring from the spring of 539, the 1335 years reached to the spring of 1874. But the days could not end, and Daniel and the whole order of prophets have a resurrection until the end, for he was to go his way until the end. And we have other arguments proving the end or harvest could not begin until the 10th day of the 7th month of 1874. Here was another dilemma. Give up the application of the prophecy we could not, and yet those days must reach to the end. Again we searched, more special pleading some may say. However, we found another precedent, just one solitary case where a similar license is used to prolong a period of time. David reigned over all Israel, and the time that he reigned over Israel was 40 years. That's 1 Chronicles 29, verse 27. This also is 3 times repeated, and the fact that he reigned more than 40 years is 3 times repeated, as in 2 Samuel 5, verses 4 and 5. Then, the 1335 days, beginning almost a year late, may be prolonged any part of another year. They must not be 1336 full years, but may be 1335 and any fraction of another year, and the scriptures not be broken. Hence they can be carried beyond the 10th day of the 7th month in 1874, and may be prolonged even to February 14th, 1875, without violating the conditions of the prophecy, and for this there is a clear scriptural argument. But the days have ended, they are in the past, and the special interest which attached to February 14th, 1875 is also past. He's writing this, of course, in 1877. And it is only one link of a chain of evidence. And the proof that they ended on that special day is not now of sufficient importance to demand a full explanation here. All that is of vital importance to these arguments is to show that they reached to the end or harvest of this world, on which a future chapter will dwell in more detail. Put a link into the writing of John Warwick Montgomery, a first-rate Christian apologist, in his book on the occult, Principalities and Powers. A video is called Pyramids and Prophecy, Times and Seasons.